Hello, and welcome. My name is Nick. Sitting across from me there is Q, and we are here to save the universe. So glad that you have joined us once again. However you have joined us, whether it's YouTube or one of the many podcast sites that we're on, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Podbeam, Spotify, probably missing something. But welcome in. We're so glad you're here. We're joined once again by our producer, Jeff Rena. How you doing, Jeff? Rena?
I'm good.
Good to have you, man.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Got a little bit of a smile today, so that's better than last time. Because last time he was in desperate need of a hug. How are we coming on our? Have we made any progress on our hug invention?
Oh yeah, I've been working on it. Do you know why Phillips screwdrivers exist?
I don't know why Phillips screwdrivers exist.
Well, because flathead, the evolutions of flathead, only had 2 points of tension.
Contact, yeah.
Yeah. So when you created this, it has 4 points of tension and gives you better torque.
That's exciting to know.
I don't know if that's true. I made that up.
Well, I mean,
It makes sense.
It does make sense.
More
it does
torque.
make sense, yeah.
And we fix things, and I think sometimes people are like, well, I can fix this problem by myself. You got something going on, they think I can fix it by myself. But when you add us to the equation, me and you, it adds more points of contact and more torque, and you have a better chance of navigating this world with us in your life, and that's why you need to listen to this podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree completely. I agree wholeheartedly, couldn't agree more. And that reminds me, we'll just say this right at the top. We hope to have a viewer question or a listener question episode here soon.
We've had some questions come in thus far. Rena showed me a list of some of them the other day.
Anything good, Rena? Any good questions?
Yes, but we need more.
Yes, but we need more.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll do a Facebook like asking for questions too.
We can
get
do
it out
that.
there.
Yeah.
So
Good stuff on the horizon. That'll be a lot of fun. I
I'm
look forward
excited.
to that.
We're doing it for episode 10, right?
Yeah,
which
I
we're
think
close
that's
to.
planned. This is 7. Yeah,
Is this 7?
yeah,
8?
yeah.
8?
This is 8.
7 or 8. Okay, 8 or 7.
It's
Yeah.
just so much fun.
Well, we got
You
one
lose
in the
count.
can that we did just in case we ever can't get together. So
You lose
yeah.
count. It's just so much fun.
It is.
So-
Having the time of our life. By the way, if you want it to rain, just have me and Q record a podcast
Yeah, it's going to rain every time.
every time. It's crazy. It's quite amazing. So yeah, make sure you keep sending in your questions at nickandq@gmail.com. We get those emails. We'll go through them, and man, look forward to that episode. We have to bring in some folks to help us answer those questions that day. Be a lot of fun. Man, anything crazy? I had a little crazy issue come up the other night. that
Uh-oh.
I still
Uh-oh.
don't know how to resolve. All right, so spider crawling across the floor.
Oh, you're not big on spiders, are you?
I don't mind
They're
spiders.
my least favorite. I handle snakes better than spiders.
Nah, I handle spiders better than snakes.
Okay, I'm opposite.
Yeah. So, but anyway, spider crawling across the floor. My cat spots it. So it's a good thing that I have cats. But so immediately I get up because I don't want the cat to eat whatever spider it is.
Why?
Because I don't know if it's poisonous. I mean, if a cat eats a poisonous spider, will that kill it?
No, I don't think it bothers them.
Really? I mean, because
Yeah.
there's poison inside the spider. I mean, once you digest it, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe if the poison isn't in the bloodstream, maybe if it's like in the stomach acid stuff, maybe it's fine.
I think stomach acid is stronger than spider venom.
It could be.
I really do.
It could
Yeah.
get bitten though, like if it's pawing at it.
Well, then if it does not deserve to live as a cat. If a cat has all these abilities, Rena, like claws, cat-like reflexes, climbing, sharp teeth. If you are a cat and you get bit by a spider, then you deserve to be poisoned.
Okay.
I would think that, like in the wild, like spiders would probably be something that cats might eat.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, anyway, to get back, so my wife immediately freaks out. Oh, it's a brown recluse. It's a brown recluse. It's a brown recluse.
Oh.
So I'm like, no. I'm immediately like, no, it's not, because my wife jumps to the worst conclusion possible immediately. And I always tell my wife this: think horses, not zebras. I love this saying: if you hear hooves, think horses, not zebras. It's probably, most likely.
That kind of makes me
It's not-
sad.
Huh?
That kind of makes me sad.
Well, I mean, you think of the most logical answer. If you hear hooves coming, it's probably not zebras. It's probably horses.
Well, that is
Okay?
so disappointed.
don't.
It's like maybe this is
But
it's not
don't-
Zebra. It's another horse. Stupid horse. I've seen 1,000 horses in my life.
Anyway, so so I get like right up over it before I kill it, and we take a picture, and then I.
By the way, what a way to go! Like, imagine somebody's killing you. Imagine somebody's coming in here and going to shoot us. Like, they're coming here with a gun and going to hold us a gunpoint. You're like, I'm about to kill you, but hold on a second.
Oh, real still.
Get this picture of you.
Really still. I'm gonna look you up on the internet later.
What a way to go! Like, I don't know if there could be anything more insulting to before you kill something,
And then just
to like take a picture.
and then this a giant like napkin just come out of the sky and you get watered up in it. But that's basically what happened. So I took a picture, started comparing it to other spiders on the internet, and yeah, it was a brown recluse.
Oh,
Yeah, so
it was a brown recluse.
It was actually.
Are
a
you
brown
sure?
recluse. No, I'm positive.
Fiddle body.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, like it's a dead ringer. Like
So-
I've even shown it to other people just to make sure I'm not losing my mind, and it is. So
So
of
do
course,
you-
my wife wants to burn our
Yeah.
place
So,
to the ground.
do you want me
Yeah.
to burn? Do you want me to buy the gasoline or?
Well, here we haven't seen.
I moved from my house, Nick, because of brown recluses. You
Yeah.
remember this?
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like my wife, when we moved back to Alabama. We moved into a renter house, and then somebody showed up and goes, "Hey, how's a brown recluse problem going?" And my wife's like, "Hey, we're finding another house," and we did.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
no.
we did not stay.
No. Well, if we see another one, that's probably what's going to happen. We haven't seen another one. Although I did wake up with a spider with some sort of bite on my arm today.
Oh no!
Yeah. But
Dude, there's a brown recluse bite.
it's not.
It
I,
is.
I've looked it up. It's not because
You can't
well,
look them up.
No, brown recluse bites aren't raised, and this is clearly raised.
No,
off
they
the
do
skin.
different things. Because here's a look. Let me tell you. You think it's not, but poison doesn't react in every body the same. My dad got a brown recluse bite. That is a brown recluse bite.
That is not a brown recluse bite. It hadn't
right.
gotten any bigger.
Whatever.
Anyway, thank you. That ruined my day. I
man.
had already decided. It
If you
wasn't.
start getting a fever, well, now you gotta think two things. If you start getting a fever, you gotta think: do I have the COVID coronavirus, or do I have a brown recluse?
Or both. Wouldn't that be great if I just got both?
My dad got bit by a brown recluse, and my dad's a very stubborn man in a lot of ways. He doesn't like
Yeah.
going to the doctor.
Yeah. Didn't pass that on to his children at all. But go ahead.
And by the time he finally decided he was like in the night, like cold sweats with a fever, he had to go to the doctor. They looked at him and said, and his on his leg and his veins were turning up his leg, turning red. They looked at him and said, "You've waited too long. I think you're going to beat it. Go home and go back to bed."
Oh man.
So I'm just saying, like,
Wow.
if that starts like
Oh no!
streaking,
If it gets any worse,
if it starts streaking,
yeah, if it gets any worse, I will definitely deal with it.
and he beat it, like no issues, no like, because I hear stories you get bit by when you have to like this big hole in your skin.
Oh yeah,
He had none of
yeah.
that.
I've seen them.
None of that. Like
Yeah.
I guess the genes inside of him just went,
Everybody's immune system's different.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take your
So-
poison on and
Yeah.
make it through.
So yeah, I've seen people.
So what's your plan for? I mean, you just like, oh, maybe it's just so is your mindset right now like, oh man, this
Well-
thing just wandered in for somehow. I don't have a
Yeah,
problem.
well, I replaced our storm door was not quality. Like there were gaps everywhere, and we like to sit with our main door open and just have our storm door closed a lot of times. So I immediately, like the next day, replaced our storm door. So we've got no seams coming in and out of that right now.
Well, the problem is
And-
brown recluse is a dumb name because they're not reclusive. I mean, they're not. I mean, they are reclusive, but they're not. They're not by themselves.
They're not, but they do only bite if they are put in a situation like if you like roll over on top of one of your bed or something like that. That's the only time they're going to bite, or if they get pressed against your clothes or something like that. So
Or
it's-
you get a shirt out of the closet that
that has a brown recluse.
That has a brown recluse
Now,
and you put it on.
I have been vigorously shaking clothes that I get out of drawers and closets. Yeah, they get a good shaking.
That's why I like black widows better. I know black widows are poisonous too, but what black widows do is they say, "Look at me." We had a black widow the other day,
Yeah.
in the corner of our pool, in the rocks. But it's like, hey, see this big red dot? Like I'm a black widow, and they don't like any other black widows around them.
No,
like, they're
no,
going to
no.
be by themselves.
Oh, I mean,
so they're
yeah,
like,
they'll-
I'm the only one around here. If you can handle me and take care of me, you're probably good.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Well, we had a place that I thought I'd gotten some wood from a tree that had gone down in my parents' house, and I'd put that wood like underneath our deck to keep it dry, and that's where brown recluses apparently love to hang out, is wood piles and things like that.
Have you checked your
So-
attic?
I haven't checked my attic because I don't want to know.
Because that's where they will congregate as well.
Yeah, they will. I know. I've heard. I don't need. I'm gonna put a couple sticky traps underneath some furniture.
So what
And
happens
they
if
say-
one shows up?
And they say that if you have them, they'll get on the sticky trap.
What happens if one more shows up?
I don't know.
What do you do?
I don't know at this point. I really don't. I don't want to think about it. I'm just hoping it doesn't happen.
You don't have any plan?
I mean,
That's what I've told you. If you
I
don't,
don't know.
if you don't plan on how you're going to fight that bear when it comes and attacks you, then it will maul you.
Well, there's no
Nick.
fighting this though.
But you got to have a plan.
My plan is to move, I guess.
Well, then you need to be figuring that out right now. This whole show we do, you got to be figuring out what is your process.
I will let you know. I will keep you up to date. I'll keep you in the loop.
I'm going to figure out a plan.
We'll
for
find
you.
out. I mean,
You got to check. Oh, you can't. Your wife stays at home. I was like, you got to check that before her. Because if it's just one, like you could just take it off, put the trap back. But that's probably not going to fly.
No,
she's going to
it's
see
not.
it. She's going. I wonder how many times she's going to check those traps.
I hope. I'm thinking about hiding them. I'm thinking I'm gonna put them down and her not knowing they're there.
That's probably
Up underneath furniture and dressers and things. Let her not even know they're there.
Because
That's
if
my
she
goal.
sees it first one day, say it's a random
If she sees it-
10:39 in
yeah.
the morning, you're working somewhere, you're
Yeah.
out doing one of your routes or whatever, you're getting a really intense phone call now.
I don't even know I'm getting a phone call. I may just show up and all our stuff's on the yard. that may be what happens.
How do you-
Because we do live next to our in-laws and they have a spare bedroom, so she might just move in there.
How do you fight against it? I don't even know how you fight against it.
I mean, they say that like you can get different poisons and things like that, but they say most of them work. So
I
don't
got
know.
one time at the church because they said we had some. It was called Demon's Envy. That's the name of the poison. I got it at the co-op. It's called Demon's Envy.
yeah.
And I have not seen very many after I sprayed that. But I also, when I opened it, it had like a seal, and I popped it, and it popped in my face, in my
gosh.
eye. And I thought, I'm probably not going to see that eye anymore. I thought, this is going to burn me out. It survived.
Ouch. Yeah, that's painful. So we did have a situation one time where, there was a year or two there where my wife's car wasn't doing that great. And my grandmother at the time, she couldn't drive her car because she had just gotten too old and couldn't drive anymore. So she said, well, why don't you just come get mine? Because it was a fairly newer vehicle that had barely been driven. So
It wasn't like an old person car?
it was a little old person.
I love
it.
old
Had the
person
bench
cars.
front seat.
Oh, yeah.
It was like an Impala that had the bench front seat.
I
Yeah.
miss bench front seats
Yeah.
so much.
So I mean, it was a little bit. I mean, it was still. I mean, good shape. It was a good car. Anyway, so we left my wife's car there at her house for a year or two. So anyway, we finally go and get my wife's car to bring it home, get it home, and we were going to try to get it cleaned up so that Brandy, my wife's niece, could drive it. So we start cleaning out the trunk, we start cleaning all that stuff, and we pull a box out. A spider climbs out of it. And so my wife just immediately threw it on the ground. Mm-hmm. And when she threw it on the ground, it came open, and there were 30 or 40 brown recluses in the box.
Oh, my goodness.
And so then,
Where was that at?
what?
Was that your house?
Yes. So then my wife, was in the driveway. So then my wife realizes that she had driven home with a car infested with brown recluses, and so she just lost it. And so anyway, we were like, we wanted to still get it cleaned up and figure out a way to get it cleaned out. So my father-in-law got in it and drove it to a guy's house who was going to detail it.
He got in it?
He got in it and drove it. But anyway, so we got to the guy's house that was going to detail it and told him what was going on and said, look, because he had tried different poisons and things like that, but we were still finding them. And the guy just looked at me and said, I got something that'll kill it, man. Don't worry about it. And I said, what? He said, I got some acid. I was like, okay, I won't ask you more questions.
I
So
bet it was-
apparently you acid them.
Yeah, I bet it was called Demon's Breath or whatever.
Demon's Envy?
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
it was.
But anyway,
Actually, no, I'm
we
thinking about that.
didn't see it in the brown recluse. Now
It was
my
just
wife,
called
my
Demon.
wife's niece did wreck the vehicle about 2 months after she got it.
It was just called Demon. That's right.
Just called
It was
Demon.
Demon. They said at the co-op, I said, I need something to deal with brown recluses. The best thing you got. And they said, hey, take this. It's called Demon. I was like, all right. I'll do that. By the way, if you're naming a poison and like you're like, what name can we give this to make people really think it works well? And some guy in the back's like, call it demon. I'm like, yeah, yeah, we'll call it demon.
Call it. What's like? But what? How do you like? Because a lot of places they'll like do like a new and improved, and they'll like give it like a stronger name. How do you go stronger than demon? What do you go like? Like double demon?
Or like, I think I'd call it demon's hot urine.
Well,
I think a demon's pee would
here's
be
the deal:
really bad.
you can buy this demon, or you can buy straight up Satan. which one you want?
Do you think demons pee?
I would guess not. I would think not. I mean,
Really?
I guess that there would be spirits technically. So I don't think spirits.
But like I'm just saying, like in heaven, like it talks about how we eat and stuff.
If they look as jacked up as they're described in the Bible, then I don't know what their downstairs situation is going.
Well, old Greg happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with demons don't have genitalia.
Probably not.
Maybe that's why they're so mad all the time. Maybe they need to be and they got nowhere to
I
be.
don't know if you guys remember the first time you ever watched the video I'm Old Greg.
Oh yeah, but you need to if you have not seen Old Greg, you need to just go
Watch
ahead and
it.
go Google that. Just Google Old Greg. It'll take you to the right place.
In
Yeah.
fact, I feel like, I've been thinking about all this going on with the coronavirus, and it's just got us down in the world. There's just so
Yeah.
much like, man, people have just got their opinions about everything, and we're like all forceful, and you're an idiot if you're not following my idea, and you're an idiot if you're not, like, we're just so on edge.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably because everything's going on. I've been trying to think of like ways to save the universe in this moment we're in, which is really tough. But if I could give one prescription today, it would be start your morning like with a cup of coffee in the video Old Greg. I think it would make your day better.
It would. It
Really
would.
would.
Because anytime that anything bad happened during the day, you could just hear that in your head. And I'm Old Greg.
Do you love me? Are you playing your love games with me?
Make an assessment.
That was our first date.
Great video. Great video. All right. Well, we're back to animal infestation, not of the spider kind. We do have a little story today to share with you that I think is awesome. I'll read it for you. So we're in Wales here, okay? Good old Wales, where I believe the Williams clan is from.
That
Yes.
is exactly
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That is my heritage.
Yes. So a gang of mountain goats descending on a town in Wales this week as residents hunkered down indoors on lockdown to limit the spread of coronavirus. But the herd has defied all social distancing orders, marauding into the seaside town of Llandudno. I didn't get that right, I'm sure, in North Wales several times in the past week. There's a video producer who's got some pictures on this. You ought to check it out. Go online, check it out. I for one welcome our new goat overlords, Stewart tweeted, along with a close-up photo of one visitor sticking its head up through a bush it was enjoying for lunch. The goats, which normally live on a vast headland near the sea called the Great Orme, that's got a vast headland. We don't have any vast headlands here. We need to have taken advantage of the lack of people and cars to roam into the seaside town. They have been pictured strolling the empty streets, clambering up stone walls, and feasting on the leaves of residents' neatly trimmed trees and bushes.
Opportunist.
Yes, they are.
I mean, those goats were sitting around going, what's going on here? These people are all staying in their houses.
I imagine, like, if you're a goat, like, you just keep eating until somebody tells you to stop and go the other direction.
Yeah.
So goats are pretty much, that's it, man. They're just eating. They've got their head down and they're eating whatever's in their path.
They're like the best lawnmowers.
They are. They're great.
incredible.
If you can get your herd up, which by the way, I really want to be a goat farmer someday. If I could farm something. Goats are awesome. Like some of the sounds they make, like, some of them can make very human screams
Oh, yes.
that are like ridiculous.
Yes.
And then there's fainting goats
Which is incredible.
that when you make a loud noise, it just falls over.
That's amazing.
I mean, goats are really, really cool animals.
They're cool animals. And and again, they just want to eat. But the issue that this creates is all these folks who are social distancing, they're staying indoors in wells because of COVID-19. Now they're just watching these goats like eat up all their landscape.
Yeah, like they're nice shrubbery.
Yeah, it's all going away. And so that's
Yeah,
it's kind of a problem.
it is definitely a problem, and it's not just a problem. Now we're seeing problems like this develop all over the world right now.
True.
Like we have towns that bears are now like kind of
Yes.
roaming free in a little bit.
Yep.
We've got New York has got a rat issue because all the restaurants are not throwing as much stuff in dumpsters as usual.
Oh, they're getting hungry.
Rats are getting hungry and coming out and like cannibalizing each other and like getting aggressive. Like
I don't know a
aggressive.
lot of thing about rats. I saw the whole bubonic. There's somebody in China had the bubonic plague, and they're like, "We're checking rats." I'm like, "Oh, God. Don't even like. Let's just pass that over. Like, that didn't even really happen. That's not real life. Like, that's not real life." Rats, man, I do not like rats.
No,
They're just dirty.
they are, and they will like, and they will. A rat will, if given the opportunity, will eat you.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
eat anything. It's
Yeah.
like a goat.
Yeah.
Maybe worse than a goat.
No, definitely worse than a goat. Definitely worse than a goat. Because I'm
I
thinking,
didn't tell you when I got freaked out about rats. Was watching Charlotte's Web when I was a kid. Do you remember that?
Templeton, man.
Templeton?
Oh, dude, when he went that thing, he goes, "It's a smorgasbord, it's a smorgasbord," like, and he would just like shove everything in his mouth. I was like, something is wrong with this guy. And talk about opportunist. He did not do any of that out of the goodness of his own heart. None of it.
No.
What was Charlotte had to like talk him in to everything he did. He was such a selfish dude. It's that moment when I realized that rats are no good. They are incredibly selfish animals.
The moment that I realized rats were nothing to mess with, my mom raised some chickens and had it back out behind our shed. And our chickens were not alive anymore the next morning, and their faces were eaten and their necks were broken
By rats?
by rats. I didn't know they could break necks, but they can. Packs of them just attack stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, let me tell you, this is another reason you keep cats around.
this episode has gone to places that I don't feel comfortable with.
It's another reason you keep cats around.
Oh no, absolutely.
Like I don't look. I know you like cats. I'm over it.
I don't like my cats. I like my cats.
Well, I don't like cats, and I've got 2 of them. And then I got a neighbor who feeds wild ones in the barn because he's a weird.
No,
He's not weird. He's a great guy.
Wild
but
cats,
He
he
just
just-
loves cats like
Wild
more
cat-
than any other person I ever met in my life.
Having wild cats in your barn is a great way to keep rats away. And if you keep rats away, guess what you keep away?
What?
Keep snakes away.
I don't mind snakes. I told you I one-shot a snake this year. It was awesome. With a hoe. I was mad that day. I was mad at the world. Then my wife was pushing my buttons. Want me to kill the snake? I walked up behind it with a hoe and came over my shoulder, one-shot its head right off, and then I walked away like a boss.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I know. That's the second time you tell this story. You're very excited
great.
about it.
But cats, here's how I see cats. Cats are protection. That's why I'm okay with keeping them around.
Yeah, no,
I don't
cats
love
are great.
them, but I'm okay with
They
keeping
keep
them around.
moles out of your yard. Y'all know if
Yeah.
you ever had a mole problem.
But see,
That's no good.
This is where me and you different. Like if one of my cats dies, I'm like, let's go get another one. It's kind of like,
Yeah. See,
I know. I've not had dogs. I just got dogs over this last year. It would hurt me more if my dogs died. For me now,
Yeah.
my cats is kind of like, I don't know. It's like if my can opener tore up, I have to go get another can opener.
that's awful.
That's not.
That's nice.
I take care of them.
Yeah.
And I got one that's super affectionate that probably should go home with one of you guys. It needs somebody to love it more than I'm ever going to love it. It looked at me today and like one of its eyes, like it was kind of swollen or something. And I was like, hey, don't be slacking. You got to kill those rats.
I tell you what messed me up with rats. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh, yeah.
When they're under in like the tombs and the waters are just infected. Oh, that you talk about a skin crawling scene right there, man. That one's. I think that messed me up on snakes too. The Indiana Jones and the
That was
yeah
intense.
the first one, yeah. But anyway, all right. So run out of time. Your city's infested by animals. What are we doing?
I'm just going to focus on goats because I can only take one animal at a time.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, we had goats on our little farming out in the country, and most of the goats had generic names like Nanny,
It's a solid goat name.
Rose. I mean, just some generic names. But the first goat we ever had, the oldest goat, was named Billy Carter. I don't know why. I don't know if it has a reference to a president or anything. I don't know, but his name was Billy Carter.
Jimmy Carter was the
I
president.
don't. So I don't know what. Did Jimmy have a brother named Billy Carter?
I don't know.
I don't know. But he was named Billy Carter, and I remember trying to play around with him one day, and he had enough of it, and he headbutted me,
Yeah.
and Stone Cold took the breath out of me.
But got you right there in the sternum?
Oh yeah,
Oh, man.
their heads are hard.
Yeah.
but
Well, that's how they fight.
But here's the thing: this is gonna be a simple save. I would go out there and I would play fight with him. You know, you kind of get down and he would like kind of get back. It was a lot of fun. But the one thing that's true that you said earlier is they eat anything and they'll eat everything. They love eating. They just love it.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know why these people are letting these goats come in their city and do that. I don't understand that, because it's a really simple fix. Here's what you do. It's the same thing that people do for me, Nick, if I'm quite honest, is you give them something better to eat. If you want them to go somewhere else, you just give them something better to eat. And goats love trash. You could just
Just pour the trash out in a trail out,
like a
leaving the town.
breadcrumb of trash trail, and it would be perfect. You know why I will choose one meeting over another?
Because it's more interesting than the one before it.
No, because there's food at one. That's why I will choose one.
That is a great way, yes.
If I have an emails today saying, "Hey Q, could you be at this meeting at 11 o'clock here?" Another one says, "Hey Q, could you be at this meeting at 11 o'clock? We're going to provide lunch." I'll be like, "Yes, I will be at lunch," and no, I cannot make your meeting. And it's the same with goats.
Because if you're having a meeting at 11 a.m. and you're not providing food, then you shouldn't be allowed to have meetings.
So you should just do that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: at the end of the day, we and goats and rats and bears, we're all trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
We're trying to find the next best thing to eat.
Yeah. That's true.
That's what we want to do.
That's true. And by the way, that's just a side problem to say, just kind of expounding on what I just said. If you have a wedding close to a mealtime and you don't have a meal, don't invite me. Don't bother. It's not. I mean, if you're asking people to come to something that they don't want to be at.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. If you're having a wedding, there may be 10 people that want to be at your wedding. The rest are coming out of obligation.
And you know what's worse is when they're like cheap and they're trying to make decisions. And they're like, "We're not going to have food, but we're going to have alcohol." Because then just bad things happen.
Oh, really bad things happen. Yeah. We got alcohol and crackers.
Yeah.
So y'all didn't go to my wedding, but I had food.
We didn't go to your wedding because you got married a long way away from us. We watched your wedding. I watched your wedding live online.
Okay.
I did do that.
I watched like 10 minutes of it.
I'm gonna be honest. I was probably watching cartoons at the same time.
Makes sense.
No, I did watch your wedding because it was kind of gushy though, man. Like it was just fine. It's kind of you know. So like it was fine. But I didn't come to your wedding because you didn't ask me to be in it.
Yeah, I did.
No, I like to officiate it.
That's what it takes?
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
What?
That's the only way you're going to.
Well, then I feel like nobody else can. Okay, like that's the guy that's got to be there. And that's how Lewis. I mean, that's how he got me out to his wedding, halfway across country. It's like, "Hey, won't you officiate our wedding?" It's like, oh gosh, like okay, like who else is going to do it? Some jabroni?
Anybody? Yeah. Anybody who wants to go online and spend $5 on a certificate, that's who's going to do it.
Actually, I don't have many regrets in my life, but one of them isn't that I didn't go to your wedding.
Neither one of you were at my wedding.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know you.
Yeah, I don't think you did.
Did you know him?
I knew you.
Yeah, I knew Jeff.
Why was
Yeah,
he
I knew
there then?
Jeff.
Okay, let's turn. Tables have turned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why weren't you there?
I think I had to work.
No, you were
Yeah.
you were such an angst person. You're probably just mad about something that didn't matter.
Probably true. That is probably true.
He probably did something to band. Like he probably like booked a hotel room and made you sleep with somebody's room that snored. And you're like, I'm not going to his wedding. You know that's what happened. They're like, hey, who can work this week at Blockbuster? And you're like, oh, I can.
I need an excuse to miss
Yes, I got
this,
to
miss
miss
this
this
dirtbag's wedding. That
He took me on tour with him on a van, and I got paid like $73 for a summer.
If he got $73, he got more than the rest of it. All
I
right,
can't believe y'all toured because, I mean,
yeah,
I went that one time to that place in
the place in Tennessee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if y'all did that all the time, it's amazing that you're not insane.
Yeah, no, I don't know that I'm not insane, but yeah, we
Because like y'all did a lot of work, and like you didn't even get green rooms or anything.
no. Well, there wasn't when we were outside on a deck, basically.
I'm just saying,
For
like
a
I
week.
feel like when people tour, they're like, "Oh, look at all this backstage footage of this fun we're
Yeah.
having," and there was not any of that.
Yeah, no.
And then we went to a comic book store. That was the funnest thing I did on that one. Didn't mean you go to a comic book store that time?
I think so.
I think we went and watched the Dark Knight on that trip as well.
Might have done
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we did that. So that was a fun part of the trip.
Yeah.
But it was No, there was not. Touring for most bands is not luxurious at all. It is doing what you got to do, playing wherever they tell you to play, and getting paid whatever they tell you you're getting paid.
You know, he really likes you as a friend. I mean, not as romantically, but as a friend, Jeff really likes you.
Yeah,
Today he did something like in your favor that I was going to make fun of you and he wouldn't let me do it.
well, I appreciate that.
I know.
Yeah,
We're doing some videos and
yeah.
I was like, somebody needs to try to do Nick's
My
laugh,
laugh.
which I think is enduring. He's like, no, we're not doing that. It's like, my goodness. All right, man. Heart police.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. But I get it. I mean, it's definitely, like there's been many a times where it's like, hey, I think I hear Nick's voice. And then I heard you laugh. It's like, oh, yeah, Nick's here.
Are you just tired of that? Or
It just is what it is.
I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
signature at this point.
It is. I like
do you wanna be known for
kind
more
of
than
like
that?
to be known for something else. Maybe.
Some people don't even have a laugh.
Anything else?
I don't even have a laugh. I don't know what I'm known for. I'm known for that my name's one letter.
Nah, I don't think that's it.
That's probably the most known thing for me. Is like, oh yeah, Q, I know him. They don't know because it's one letter.
Nah, I think it's, hey, here comes Q. He's going to have some crazy idea that we're all going to have to do.
That's true.
And he'll get bored of it halfway through.
Hey, we made it to episode 8. In closing,
I'm sure we're out of time. That guy really ran in there at the end. But no, in closing, I think the best takeaway you can have today is the answer is food.
answer's food.
The answer is food.
What kind of food you have at your wedding?
Yeah.
Kolaches, donuts, and a bunch of really good coffee.
Yeah, pass. Sorry.
right.
I mean, if it was like steak,
Oh, I wish it was steak, but
I didn't have good food either.
We had some really good food at my wedding, and I didn't eat a bite of it. People just kept coming up to us and like saying, and but before I knew it, it was time for us to leave.
That probably made him feel really bad. Just now,
What?
you had a bunch of people come to your wedding. How are you rubbing that in?
I actually didn't have a bunch of people. There's a whole lot of people who I invited that did not show up for my wedding, but I didn't really care.
We were so cheap and so broke
Oh, we were too.
that we talked. I had this great idea.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Hey, everybody in the church, why don't you guys make casseroles for my wedding?" That's what we had.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's pretty good.
No, yeah. No, we got married in December, and the church that we got married in was decorated for Christmas, so we just went with it.
nice.
We're like, hey, look, church is already decorated.
Anyway, in
Good
closing,
deal. Yeah, so food.
food gets you there. And if Jeff Reno would have had steaks, I would have been there.
Yeah.
I really would have. Or if he would have asked me to officiate. But, he didn't.
Hey, I sang in a band with him for like nearly 2 years, and he didn't even ask me to come sing. So, I mean, you didn't get asked to officiate. I mean, come on.
It's okay. I love him. I really do love him. I'm not bitter over that.
Oh,
I'm
man.
not. Because he makes me smoke lasagna now, so it's okay. Hey, make sure to like us, subscribe to us, send us your questions. We look forward to hearing from you. And thank you again for showing up. Once again, because of the wonderful men in this room, the universe is a safe place to live. You're welcome.